and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be trying out an eyeshadow palette that I got from the GUICAMI brand. I know I still do not know how to correctly pronounce that brand, but it's from the GUICAMI brand and I got it from ALIEXPRESS and it cost me the very affordable sum of £2.54. This palette is one of 3 different palettes, each with a different unique colour story, and I do feel like these kind of colour stories are very kind of baroque. You've got some that are a little bit cool toned, some that are a little bit warmer toned, but they do tend to actually be a mix of both warm and cool tones. I don't know why I bother saying that. I just feel like, is that interesting? No. I could have just put up the pictures and let you see for yourself. See for yourself. Oh my gosh, what's happened to my grammar? Also, I've broken 2 nails now. 2. I don't know what the protocol is when you break 2 of your acrylics. Am I meant to actually go back to get these fixed? But, I mean, obviously, if I do that, then surely, you know, it's only a matter of time until the other ones break, and then do I have to go back when those break? Because honestly, that seems very high maintenance. I don't even have time to go buy toilet rolls from the shop. Do I have time to go to the fucking nail salon numerous times a week to correct the fucking nails that have failed? No, I don't know what to do. So really what I've decided to do is nothing. I'm just going to leave them until they all break off, and then and only then will I deem it appropriate to actually go back. But anyway, guys, sorry, I was chatting as I was trying to open this box, and I just thought I'll just carry on chatting and filling in the time whilst I'm trying to open this inopenable box. But no, it's still not opening, so do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rip it, but first, this is the box. Just, I should show you that. It looks very nice. It's kind of like, ooh, we've got some flowers on the front. We're a little bit florals, very sophisticated. Grandeur. I don't know, like whenever I hear the word grandeur, it makes me think like grandiose, which makes me think of someone that is a little bit eccentric, maybe someone that pretends they've got a lot of money and class, but they don't really. But then this is called grandeur. Is that the same thing as grandiose? I don't know. Anyway, so this is a 9-pan palette. This is actually the first time that I am casting my eyes over the palette as well. So I'm finding it difficult to see because my room's very dark and I forgot to switch my light on. So, okay. That did not make all that much difference. I think I have like the warmest light bulb that has ever been created in this light. It's, I can barely see, but okay, so the palette looks okay, like okay, not great, just okay. So we have 2 kind of chocolate browns that look extremely similar. One of them looks a little bit more kind of red based than the other one. We've got a kind of champagne-y kind of gold shade. We've got a beautiful camel brown, which I feel like every palette needs that kind of camel brown. We've got a dark brown. We've got a beautiful Gorgina kind of steel shade. We've got a bronzy and silvery pressed glitter, which I'm a bit over glitter. I know, I never thought I would hear myself say that either, but I'm a bit over it. I don't really find that I use it a lot in looks. I can really admire glitter on other people. Like when I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race and the queens have glitter, I think it looks so good. But for me, like, I just don't know when am I wearing glitter. And I know I could wear glitter anywhere I wanted. And that would be rather fabulous to wear glitter, you know, when I'm going into the office, but I just don't because it's too much trouble. Yeah, I won't be using the glitter today, and maybe that's actually a sign that I'm maturing. I don't want to mature. I think I need to be wearing more glitter. Yeah, more glitter in my life, definitely. And then we have this absolutely gorgeous kind of glitter infused kind of matte shade. I can't really tell you what colour it is. It doesn't really look like a black, or maybe it is. It's just that some of the glitters in there have like a blue twinkle to them. So I don't know if that's throwing me off, making me think it's navy, when in fact maybe it is black. It's just got blue glitters. Who knows? Guys, do you know what? Without further ado, because I do just want to like get into this, and I know I've already created an unnecessarily long intro here, so I'm just going to jump straight into the swatches now so that you can see what the shades look like swatched, and then I'm going to jump straight into the look. Okay, so here are the swatches. I'm really sorry that I've not been able to live swatch them for you, but I can tell you that they're very smooth, very kind of buttery. The mattes are extremely pigmented. I only did one kind of swipe, if that makes sense. So I didn't kind of dip back in, I just did one dip and one swipe. The metallics are beautiful. Two of them, the kind of champagne and then this kind of rose goldy or pink goldy, this one. They are quite sheer but still very metallic and beautiful. This other kind of copper shade is just absolutely gorgeous. We've got this darker brown which has some glitter infused in it and it looks absolutely sensational. It's kind of like a satin finish, and then over at this end you've got the matte black which has silver and gold glitters in it. So yeah, I think based off the swatches, I am in for a very good time with this palette. Okay, so to begin the look, I am going to go in with the lightest shade in the palette, which is this beautiful cool tone camel brown, and I'm just going to be placing that in my crease, but I am going to take it up rather high, almost touching my eyebrow, just to give me that real kind of, you know, I want it to be intense. And as I've said many times before, I do believe that as we age, we need to just go that bit extra with our makeup application, because when I look straight on, as you can see, like the skin has just completely failed. It's gone south on my eyes. So because of that, I like to overcompensate by taking the blending of the eyeshadow up higher so that you can actually see it when I'm looking at your face on, because otherwise, like, what is the point? By the way, does one eyebrow look darker than the other? Am I just imagining that? I hope I am, but I don't think I am. Anyway, feck it. The eyebrows are a disaster anyway today. Do you ever have those like weeks, months, when you just hate how you look? Like the majority of the time, like I tend to think I'm okay. Like I'm okay. I'm not great, but I don't mind how I look most of the time. But I've just been like really, really down on myself the last like, I don't know, ever since I was not 21 again, I suppose. Okay, so in we go with a fluffy blush. A fluffy brush is what I meant to say then. Okay. I have already applied primer just for info. I'm just starting off in the middle of the lid there. And I'm just going to be blending that in towards my nose and then out towards the outer V. Just like that. Just to give me my little starting point. And I am using small circular motions, as always, just to create a soft but smoked out blend. Oh, I'm gonna put it. Sorry, I was just kind of, as I'm filming, I was just reading an email. Let's pull that one. What? A paw? Why am I being called poor? Poor, I'm gonna put what? Anyway, fine, whatever. Popping my pills. Trying to keep myself sane, you know what I mean? So I have tried various eyeshadows by the GUICAMI brand, and generally, like, I've been so impressed. The products are always very affordable, and the quality of the eyeshadows definitely exceeds what you would expect based on the price. Honestly, I do find that they tend to dupe a lot of more popular brands, specifically Colourpop. Like Colourpop seems to be a brand that they always dupe. Like I think they copy every single release that Colourpop ever puts out. I know that Colourpop is pretty affordable if you are America based, but by the way, I'm not justifying duping or copying here at all, but just to give you a little bit of background, for me here in the UK, I did one time do a Colourpop order, and the actual order, like the cost of the products, was about £25 and I got loads of stuff. So the actual cost per product is really, really affordable. But I got hit with this giant customs charge, which actually the customs charge was more than the cost of my products. So for me, over here in the UK, Colourpop is an extremely expensive brand, and I am in no way justifying like copying. I don't think it's right that any brand should outright copy another brand. What I do agree with though is taking inspiration from, you know, like Makeup Revolution, they do this a lot. They'll take inspiration from, but they won't blatantly copy. And I do think there is a big difference because let's face it, we're not all Kim Kardashian. We don't all have millions of pounds of disposable income to spend on makeup. We just don't. I just spent £600 on a new fucking boiler. So I definitely do not have disposable income for makeup. You know what I mean? It's just like, by the way, if you've ever had to buy a boiler, oh my gosh, what a dull purchase it was. Okay, so far I am so impressed with the quality of these shadows. This is very nicely pigmented. It looks exactly on the eye how it appears in the pan. I definitely think that this has blended out really, really beautifully. I have no issues whatsoever. It does not look patchy or faded. It's kind of keeping its pigment. I am very impressed with this, and yeah, it definitely kind of in line quality wise with the other GUICAMI eyeshadows I've tried. Oh, do you know what? I've got a crazy cat. I do. I have a crazy cat. Me and Honeys, we woke up one day, we thought, do you know what? These two boys we have, they're not tricky enough. No, they're not challenging enough. No, why don't we get two bunnies? Oh my gosh, yes, let's do that. And then a couple of weeks later, Honey said, should we get a kitten? Oh, and I said, let's get a kitten, why not? Because we have a very easy life. We're not constantly cleaning up after our two boys and our two bunnies. Oh no, definitely, let's get a kitten. Great idea. We definitely have time for that. By the way, I'm only joking, like the boys are not challenging at all. They're actually very, very good boys, but they're fecking messy. They are messy. The bunny's even messier, like sawdust. How does it get everywhere? I don't know. Their hutch is in the living room at the back. We have fecking sawdust upstairs in the bathroom. How does it get there? Don't fecking know. Now we have a crazy kitten. Now, honestly, the kitten is more challenging than the two bunnies and the two boys put together. I just swear we have got one crazy kitten. Like, trust us to get the insane kitten. So I'm next going to go in with the Chocolatey Brown. Oh, it looks very pigmented. Look at that. Right, so I'm just going to be putting that just like underneath where I applied the first shade. Definitely don't want to be taking this up as high as we did the other shade. Like a lot of the times I'll be watching the kitten just doing its thing, and I've started thinking now, like, is it neurological? Because I know kittens, I know they're known for being like crazy and wild and, you know, super high energy, but our one is just like bizarre. Like he kind of waits for you. He hides in a room, he waits, and then he pounces on you as you walk past, which is a bit savage, especially when you're in the house by yourself. You're carrying a couple of drinks. It's fucking annoying. But you know what? I mean, I do love the kitten. I really, really do. The kitten's great. And I think actually the thing I love most about the kitten is its quirkiness. Because, I mean, I myself, I'm quite quirky too. So, you know, it takes one to know one. Okay, so I really do like that shade. Very good quality. Like super richly pigmented. Really, really easy to work with. I like it. I'm just making sure that I kind of push it right into the eye socket. Doing a little bit of eye contour here, guys. Can you see how pigmented that is though? And how easy it is to work with. It's gorgina. So I'm just going to do the same over on this side. I'm just pressing the shadow right into my eye socket. Oh my gosh, so I had soup yesterday on the hottest day of the year so far. That was a really bad idea. This is what we've got going on so far. I know it looks super messy, I know, but we are next going to go in with the other kind of deep brown shade, but the one that has like the red base to it. So I am going to be popping that again, just in the crease really. And I'm also going to be putting it like under the lower lash line. I am then going to do a bit of a cut crease, and we're going to go in with this beautiful kind of steel. It's like a duo color. It's like steely, but then a bit pinky. It's a really unique shade. So I'm going to be going in with that on the lid over the kind of cut crease. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to apply the red-based brown. I'm going to do my cut crease off camera, and then we're going with the beautiful, well, we don't know. It looks beautiful in the swatch, but we're going to go in with the metallic. So fancy, guys. If you want to feel like super, like just fancy and like, oh, hello. How are you? How are you doing? Is everything good with you today? That's great. That's fine. That's fine. You need to get long nails, you do. You won't be able to wipe your bum, of course, but you will feel fancy. You just will. Okay, I'm going in with the red-based brown under the eye. Unfortunately, I am not using my preferred under eye brush to do this because I don't know where the heck it went. But yeah, so far I like this. I'm just kind of trying to ascertain whether this brown is that dramatically different from, you know, the brown that we used up in the socket. And although this one, I'd say it does look, like you can see it is definitely, you know, more red toned. Do I think he's dramatically different? Yes, actually. Do you know what? To Honey's, he would say no. He'd say that's exactly the same shade. But you know what? I can see a difference here. I can. Again, very nicely pigmented, it's blended out beautifully, and I actually prefer this red base brown, so I definitely am going to now take it over the other brown that we've pushed it into the socket. So I'm going to pop that there, then I'm going to do the cut crease, and then we're going to do the metallic. Get down, I move it all around. Ooh, baby, you're so fine. I'm gonna make you mine. Your lipstick tastes so sweet. Do, 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 do. Okay, so this has taken me like 10 minutes, give or take a minute or so of just chatting. And I really, really love it. Like, I would definitely recommend GUICAMI as being one of the best quality eyeshadow brands on AliExpress, or just generally the kind of best quality, very affordable eyeshadow palettes. Because let's face it, even even you know, hand aren't great, but even hand like Beauty Glaze, even they're not quite as cheap. Maybe Beauty Glaze £9 palettes are, but yeah, I just think that this is a real kind of masterclass in great eyeshadow quality. I don't mean me doing anything, just the GUICAMI brand. I just think the shadows are super easy to work with, so pigmented, and they just look really good on that lid. You know, they're not faded, not patchy, just really, really good, really, really easy to blend out. And you know, with barely any effort, we have this. So anyway, I'm gonna do that cut crease. I know I've been saying I'm gonna do the cut crease like forever. Like I keep saying, well, I'm just gonna go and do the cut crease, I'm gonna do the cut crease, and then I keep coming back talking more. But I'm definitely going to do the cut crease now, like defo. Okay, so the cut crease is done. I did do a full kind of lid cut crease. One eye is looking smaller than the other eye. I have no idea what's going on there, guys. I've got one eyebrow that's darker than the other, one eye that's smaller than the other. I mean, I give up on myself. But anyway, we are going to go in with this beautiful shade. She is called Need. She feels very soft, and this is kind of what she looks like. So she is very, very smooth. She has a beautiful glow to her. She kind of looks almost kind of like a pinky red shade, you know, at this angle. And then if I turn my hand to the light, she takes on more of a kind of silvery look. She looks very beautiful, actually, very beautiful. So I'm going to use my finger, and I'm actually really thankful my fingernail actually cracked off on this finger, because now I can actually apply apply metallics again using it. So I'm just going to tap this on. I don't think that this shadow is going to be very opaque. I think it's actually going to be quite sheer, but I don't really mind because we've got kind of the creamy concealer base underneath, which is giving us that kind of opaqueness and giving us that, like, you know, solid kind of shade on which to apply the metallic. And oh my gosh, I really like it. It kind of reminds me of, you know, like a kind of almost charcoaly grey satin silky bathrobe. That's kind of what it makes me think. It looks very expensive, very luxurious. I feel like this palette is very classy, sophisticated. Oh, this is gorgeous. I love this shade, you know, I really do. It's sticking really nicely to the concealer base. So I would definitely recommend going in with like a base because I think by itself, this shadow would prove to be quite sheer. So I think if you can go in with like a nice opaque base, definitely bring out the best in the shadow. It's going on beautifully. It's very smooth, silky. It's not looking chunky or anything. I do sometimes have an issue with metallics where they can be quite chunky. They can look really, really good, you know, on the lid when I'm like this. But when I open my lid, it just looks really chunky and awful. But this shadow definitely is not doing that. It's making my lid look really, really good and youthful. So if you've got older, more mature lids, I think that this particular formula would be really complimentary on your saggy old eyelids. And I don't mean that offensively because I've got saggy old eyelids. It takes one to know one. And by the way, I would never say anyone else had saggy old eyelids. Just me, like just me. Okay, so I'm going to be using this beautiful champagne kind of shimmery metallic. It's called House. And I'm going to pop that just under my brows and on the inner corner. It's quite warm, so I think that's why it's possibly not coming off as being like super blinding. But I think also because I've got highlighter on, it maybe stopping us from seeing it a bit. But yeah, let me just check it out. Oh no, I can see it. I can see it now, actually, looking, you know, from close up with this mirror. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that now. It was just tricky to see, you know, in my actual camera, but when I'm looking at it close up, oh my gosh, this is a gorgeous shade. And I definitely feel that you could use this, you know, as a highlight just on your cheeks or the tip of your nose. It would definitely work. Oh, I'm taking you though. I call it sleepy, you know, like other people call it eye bogies, but I've just managed to dispense a little bit of eye bogey out of my eye. Sorry you had to see that, guys. But, oh well. So, I'm going to put that in there. Beautiful. Okay, so can you see that? Do you know what? I really love this palette. I really love it. And I feel like the quality is exceptional. I'm actually sat here just wanting to jump back in and create a whole other look because I'm really intrigued about this black shade that has this beautiful kind of sparkling effect, and I'm also really interested in this copper shade, and I would love to try the warm champagne as a shimmer on the lid as well. So it's one of those palettes that I definitely feel like you could pick this up every day and just use it, you know, for like a very natural kind of understated look, or you could use it for, you know, going out, wanting a super glamorous, like eye-catching, intense look. Like I feel like this 9-man palette, you know, it has so many options. So, okay guys, I'm going to just finish off the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to do my mascara, may even pop on some falsies. Oh my gosh, so I actually was not sure about this lip shade when I was applying it, and now that I am seeing it in front of the light, I know it's a terrible choice. So I'm going to have to just do something about this. So I will be back in a minute once I've done something about this. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my old trusty lip shade, which is Child Star by Too Faced, one of their melted mattes. And I feel like this is much more appropriate for the look. It's not totally distracting and just look terrible. And actually, do you know what? I did just do another lipstick declutter and I kept that lip shade that I had on a minute ago, but I'm definitely going to be getting rid of it because oh my gosh, sister, no. Anyway, guys, this is the final look. I love, I don't know what's going on with my lips. I'm not liking my lips. And do you know what, right? So today I used this Maybelline, this is the, what is it? Oh, Superstay Activewear Foundation. The reason why I used this was because last time I used it, after not having used it for a long time, I just thought it made my skin look so good on camera. But as I'm filming this, I'm thinking my skin looks awful. My skin looks textured. This foundation doesn't seem to be doing me any favours at all. So unless somehow when I'm editing, it will translate onto camera looking great, like, I don't know, maybe it will, but just looking at my face right now, my skin has never looked worse. So I just don't know, like, why would this look so good last time and just look terrible now? I just don't know, but I'm sorry about that, guys. It was a poor choice from me, and I don't know, I'm a bit disgruntled about it, honestly. But this is the final eye look. I did my mascara. I didn't go with falsies because I just thought, like, why bother? Like, what's the point? I want the eye look to be able to be seen, and I want that to be the main star of the show, the only star of the show, other than me, of course. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys, I neglected to curl my lashes, so I'm doing that now. I'm just doing the finger technique. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so in terms of this eyeshadow palette, I think it's quite clear to see that I absolutely love it. I think for £2.54, it's well worth your money if, of course, the colour story is up your street. If you feel like, you know, you could get a lot of use out of the palette, then I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to be rechecking out the other two palettes in this kind of series because I'm so impressed with the actual formula, and also as I'm getting older, but just like in general, I much prefer a smaller palette because I have like my makeup bag, which is like this one at the moment. So this has all of my like everyday products, like my favourite mascara, my favourite, all of a sudden I can't remember anything. Oh, my primer, eyebrow gel, all that kind of thing. And I also like to put in the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using that day because I like to organise my makeup the day before. So a smaller palette for me is advantageous because I can just pop it in my bag. That's why I only ever want to use like small eyeshadow palettes these days, and honestly, like, these £9 palettes are just perfect. You get a lot of options, but just from a practical perspective, you know, you can just pop it in your everyday makeup bags. I'm not down with big palettes anymore. I'm down with big everything else, but just not big palettes, if you know what I mean. Any other big P things, yes, bring it on. But big palettes, Anyway, guys, I am going to go and leave you in peace, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you are interested in buying this palette, I will leave the link to it downstairs so that you can go ahead and get one for yourself. So anyway, guys, I am going to go. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and I will be back soon. Bye!